So overall, my experience with it is it's a very solid device. I don't need it to do a ton of different special stuff as far as fitness tracking or other features. I primarily want my smartwatch to track when I do exercise or do some walking, workouts, things like that. I want it to be able to do that. I want to see the steps. That's the biggest thing. I just kind of use that as a general, activity goal. I'm trying to know where I'm at as far as like daily step count. I honestly don't use it a ton for like sleep tracking and that. Partially, the battery life is a reason for that, and I'll talk about that. But I do use it for alarms and timers. In my other job before, I definitely would use like stopwatches and those type of features a lot as well throughout the day. So that's typically what I use my smartwatch for. Now, this is small in size. I'm not the biggest guy. I don't have like huge wrists, so for me, it honestly was a non-issue, but I know there are some people that were saying they wish there was maybe a little bit of a bigger version, and on their wrists it may have looked small. There are some options, like you could get the Supcase UB Pro for the Pixel Watch. That kind of makes it look almost more like a G-Shock type watch and bulks it up a little bit. Otherwise, I mean, it is somewhat smaller compared to probably some other bigger options that you could get, especially Android options. My screen did scratch early on when I got this. I think within the first couple weeks, I had 2 small little scratch lines on it. Now, it's not something that you could see while the device is on, but when the device is off and there's some lighting coming on it and hitting the face of it, you can definitely tell it's there. So I would highly recommend either using a case that's pretty robust and will help kind of protect the screen, like that UB Pro case, which I will link that in the comments as well. Otherwise, make sure to try to get some type of screen protector. The hard thing is it's a round face, so you kind of have to use one of those like softer protectors most likely in order for it to stick on the best. I'm somewhat disappointed with the activity tracking on here because it doesn't just pull up and have auto tracking like my Apple Watch did in the past and my wife's does and things like that. So if we're going for a walk, every time I have to remember to, I'll usually hit the button and ask the assistant to start a walk. I mean, that's kind of convenient because then I don't have to actually scroll through the menus and, select a walk under fitness. So that is convenient. Having the assistant on here is probably one of the biggest draws. I love the Google Assistant. I love that that's tied together. Speaking of tied together though, one of the things that I wish was a little more integrated into this watch would be integrations with the phone. I use the Pixel 7 Pro daily as my main device. And even with having a Pixel Watch, you would think those would communicate together really well, and they really don't. My alarms in bedtime mode do not sync together. So my phone can go into bedtime mode and it'll start going into do not disturb and everything like that. But that setting does not automatically carry over to my Pixel Watch. That's something I would love for them to improve upon. That's exactly what Apple does. And so I could have both of those devices basically go into bedtime mode together at the same time. It's the same setting and they're kind of in sync. So it has happened quite often that I would basically get up, start my day, and I would realize that my Pixel Watch was never taken off of the bedtime mode, so messages weren't coming through and things like that. And it happened a lot more obviously at the start. It happens less frequently now. It's kind of annoying that that's something you have to do yourself and that it doesn't just automatically happen. I can't set like a waking time. And then when my Pixel starts accepting messages and the do not disturb goes away, that it also just does it automatically on my watch. I do find that the step count is accurate though. You have the Fitbit integration so you can select through multiple different exercises. There's pretty good wide range of activities you can select. And I do love the screen on here. It's easy for me to see in the daytime. Anywhere I've been, I do wear it a lot with like hiking, working out, going on walks during the middle of the day when there's a lot of sunlight. And I have taken it with me snorkeling. I went to Hawaii and snorkeled with it. Snorkeled with it in Florida, wore it in the pool, things like that, and it held up well. So overall, it's a good smartwatch. It does, like I said, everything that I expected to and that I want it to do. My biggest complaint is that I just wish it had a little bit better integration with the actual phone, similar to how Apple does it. The bedtime mode is one thing. For example, though, when you're using Apple Maps and you're using your Apple Watch will actually vibrate like when a turn is coming up. Stuff like that is pretty cool. And the fact that it can just sync with the watch and the phone, you have directions up there, it comes up on your watch. That is what I'd really love to see with Google, because that's something that does not happen right now. So for that little disclaimer I had at the beginning of the video, right now my Pixel Watch currently is not working. I took it with me to Florida about a week ago, and for the second time I've been snorkeling with it, wore it out in the ocean, I wore it in the pool. Actually, it was while I was just in the pool at a resort actually that I noticed it wasn't on. So I really don't know what happened. I'm assuming maybe something with like kind of water got into it, or that just happened to be the time it went. It was partially coming on when I put it back on a charger, and it would come on it powered on, and then I wore it and it basically didn't last at all. And then now it's not coming on at all anymore. So this is 8 months in and it's basically dead. I did reach out to the Made by Google account. I'm waiting for a reply from them to see. I mean, this was a free device that I got from Google to test out. So I'm hoping they replace it, but usually I'd say though, I mean, you're gonna have a warranty from the manufacturer that you'd be able to get this replaced if it happens to you. I will say I haven't heard of this going on with anybody else. I'm assuming that I just kind of got a device that either was a lemon or something happened with it where maybe water got into it and that's what's really causing mine to not work. But really happy with it and the performance of it for being the first watch that they did. I'm really excited to see what they do with the second one. Hopefully they'll do some more integrations with the phone and kind of copy off Apple a little bit as well. If you guys want to get this Pixel watch, there's going to be an affiliate link in the comments and description. Please like the video if you found this helpful. I do some other Pixel content as well, phones and other devices. Thank you guys for watching with me here today. Subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.